So let's talk a bit about the Deputy Chief Minister, the actor turned politician, Pavan Kalyan. Suresh, would you agree that a man who was actually said to be somebody who's not going to have major traction worked as a glue between TDP and the BJP in stitching up the alliance, in actually also for the fabulous victory, because there are several factors, but first is the Kapu vote, as it were. Suresh Kochatin, over to you.
Well, I guess I also was one among those guys who used to criticize Pavan Kalyan
I
the first day
remember.
when he lost.
I was trying to
Yeah,
be
the reason
polite.
being, you can get 2 lakh people to come to your rally as a film star. You can speak, but to convert those 2 lakh people, at least 50,000 of them into votes requires a kind of an organization, which Pavan Kalyan did not have. When he came together with Chandrababu Naidu, that's when Chandrababu Naidu's organization capabilities came to the fore, something that even the legendary N.T. Ramarao had realized long ago. He converted that crowds into votes, and I think that is what it is. Pavan Kalyan's is a glue, yes, more than a glue. I think he is an unabashed Hindu activist, if you can call it that way, or a Hindu protagonist. He kind of holds no kind of gloves. He goes all out, all guns blazing in the Sanatan issue with Udayanidhi Stalin. And today, if you ask me, if there is a person who is more cutter than Modi ji in terms of Hindutva, I think it's Pavan Kalyan. Because he has no apologies. He doesn't need to apologize to anybody to say, oh, I'm a moderate Hindu, or I'm a kind of, I'm a Hindu for the namesake. No, he pulls no punches. He gives it as good as he gets. And I think that is where even Udayanidhi, Stalin, and others realize that the threat is Pavan Kalyan comes down south of Andhra, past the Andhra border into Tamil Nadu, at least the northern Tamil Nadu, he has a lot of support.
Much
The
like what
same
he
goes
did
for
in
Karnataka.
Maharashtra. Much like what he did in Maharashtra. One witnessed that.
But
Yeah, Mr. Prasad,
yes,
Mr. Prasad, the thing is that Kalyan represents the Hindutva of what the central dispensation stands for, that he is unabashedly a Hindu. He speaks about the Sanatana Dharma. He says the Hindus are being tortured the world over. When the Bangladesh ISKCON incident happened, Pavan Kalyan stood up and he spoke about it. So in the larger prism, if you see it from the prism of how alliances work, this is one major reason for the TDP, Janasena and BJP alliance to work, and therefore the double engine Sarkar, Mr. Prasad.
If you really look into the past history of Janasena party, he has been originated from BJP. As for the whims and fancies of BJP only, he dance as per their tunes. Because basically he's an actor. Entire family is Gnostics, and his brothers are categorically said that he doesn't even bother to believe God. And today, all of a sudden, he acts as if he is the Sanatan Dharma head. Because under the tunes of BJP, how he plays. If you really recollect his presence in 2014, he's not been not a contested candidate as far as his party is concerned. But in 2019, anti-incumbency voters can be splitted as far as Telugu Desam is concerned. That's what their game plan is. Quite unfortunately, the YSRCP has landed up with 151. Today, he has made a bridge between BJP and Telugu Desam for the sake of Telugu Desam. If he really falls under the trap of Jagan Mohan Reddy, he would have contested individually. Entire community, even though they rallied for him, he modulated himself to the 10 steps down and said very categorically, at least my presence, at least to play some role as like a Kumar Swami in Karnataka, for which I need to survive as a politician to win the battle first.
Right.
For which he has mellowed on himself, and he has categorically started this scenario with 50 plus seats and fall down to 31.
Yeah,
Again,
but he had a fabulous, Mr. Prasad. Ultimately, it's about the results you get. I'm not saying that.
No, I'm not denying it. I'm not denying it. A battle which was taken place for YSRCP is concerned under the illusions of Pavan Kalyan will contest. Then it is a matter of fact for Jagan Mohan Reddy that he will win the battle for 175 seats is a matter of fact. But when it comes to the alliance, particularly the 0.8% of BJP.
Yeah, but you would agree that the Kamma Kapu rivalry, Kamma being Chandrababu Naidu belonging to that community and Kapu's, Pavan Kalyan belonging to that, there has been a traditional historical rivalry between the two groups. Now, isn't it true? Isn't it true that the Kapus actually rallied behind Pavan Kalyan Garu? The votes did not go to YSRCP. I mean, Pavan Kalyan actually attracted not only the Kapus but also the youth of Andhra Pradesh, promises of jobs for a bright future, however right or wrong it is, Mr. Prasad.
Ma'am, it's very clear. Yesterday, if you really look into that film function and Game Changer, he said very clearly that the creation of employment is quite impossible. That's why you need to go and watch the movies. That's what his deliberation is concerned. Yesterday's meeting is concerned. Even after losing 2 lives, is most inconsistent person with consistently working in politics. That is Pawan Kalyan. He's a brand ambassador for inconsistency. That is where he's maintaining that consistency.
But
if you really look into it, we three will differ with him even after there is nothing, there is no option left to accept as a politician.
Right, but then I think very smart move by Pavan Kalyan, even as we speak
No,
about
it's not smart move, ma'am. If you really look into that Kapu community, there is no alternative for them. I mean to say that if this particular scenario of Pawan Kalyan ends in this particular election battle, there will not be any representation for their community.
Okay, but
for
then
which
what?
they played a game with respect to BJP.
All right.
That we need to understand and accept.